It's the season for bare feet at the beach, around the pool, or anywhere. You just want to get the true feeling of summer.
You wearing socks today?
I am wearing
socks on. But if you have got to make sure though to protect yourself from the sun and other surprises that are underfoot. Here with more advice about what to look out for and other interesting footnotes is Dr. Todd Newsom of Atlantic Foot and Ankle Specialist.
Great.
Good morning.
Morning. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
We just kind of take it for granted in the summertime that we can let the kids take off their shoes, everybody can run around. That can be dangerous.
Absolutely. There's a lot of stuff on the ground that we don't think of, and we're usually wearing shoes, so little pieces of rock or glass, little pieces of metal, all these things are lurking out there, so if you're not protecting yourself, it can end up in your foot.
You know, my parents of my generation always said, well, you have to toughen up the bottom of their feet, so you have to let them go barefoot. Is there any truth to that?
Sure, you know, tetanus makes them stronger, infection makes them stronger. There you go. Builds character, resiliency.
No.
Yes, I think that there's a certain truth to that. I think that if you're at least controlling the environment to a certain extent and expecting it, that's probably a safe way to do it. But more often than not, probably you're just letting them run out. And so I think that's when you can run into problems. So it's, I don't know if I'd encourage the let them be free attitude.
Right.
Exactly.
The
There you
flip
go.
side of that always is the old wives' tale that if you walk barefoot too much, your arches will collapse and you'll have flat feet. Any validity to that?
There's much debate on this realm. I think that doing a lot of investigating and even these days, there's a lot of debate because we're looking into different cultures, different tribes, and in different parts of the world, and the people who don't have shoes do develop flatter feet, but they don't seem to develop a lot of the same problems that we do in our society. So I think it's a much more complex question. I think a lot of it has to do that just because we're typically raised with shoes, our body tends to adapt and develop a certain way. So that if we try and shift to going shoeless or going barefoot, this is when our body starts having problems. So, I think that if you coming back to your point, I think that if the children don't have shoes, then they probably aren't going to have the same problems. But, it's in our culture, it'd be tough to where are your shoes? It's like, well, I was raised in a shoeless community.
Right.
So.
What about flip-flops? Do they give us a false sense of security because we have something on the bottom of the foot, but the rest of the foot is not protected? And also, when you walk in flip-flops, at least for me, your feet tend to slide a little bit. So talk about flip-flops a little bit.
Okay, I think that the problem is they don't have the same support as other shoes, and I think that's where sometimes we see that the problems develop is maybe shifting back to a shoe that has some support and then not having support. So that people might be more prone to developing things like plantar fasciitis or heel pain and other types of conditions from overuse, from not having that support with the flip-flops. Also, might be more prone to blisters or things like that. And just have to be careful with that.
And one key for the summer is always, people take their feet out of socks after the whole winter. You got to put some sunscreen on them when you're out there barefoot.
Absolutely. Always think about it's like the ears, the nose, all those places we don't think of, but the top of the feet always can get burnt then. Yes, absolutely.
Also, foot specialists, you are all over the place. You're in Claxton, Hardyville, Hinesville, Savannah. We're missing one. What's the other one? Statesboro.
Absolutely. Can't forget Statesboro.
And you have a fantastic newsletter that you put out, too, that has a lot of information in it. I know people probably have heard Alex Trebek had a little mishap.
As he ruptured his Achilles tendon.
Yeah.
That was a kind of a big mishap.
Yeah, a big one.
Yeah, so, but I'm sure he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
I'll take fixed Achilles for $200.
So you can find out all this interesting information on
AtlanticFeet.com. AtlanticFeet.com.
AtlanticFeet.com. That's the website, and then that's how you can get the newsletter.
And the newsletter, chock full of wonderful, fabulous information. Everyone should go check it out.
Are you on Facebook?
Of course we're on Facebook.
All right, like him on Facebook, too.
Yes, like me, please. I need friends.
Doctor, thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well, speaking of feet, Don Lagana joins us next to tell us about the fancy footwork he's been doing.
2 left feet. We'll see.